Hi, Shannon and Karen with Wandering Out Yonder. Today we wanted to talk to everybody about condensation in your van. We've had a lot of emails through our Wandering Out Yonder account asking questions about how we keep condensation down in the van, the things that we're doing in the van to help with that. So we thought maybe we'd do a short little video today, talk to you guys about a few little things that have always worked really well for us.
Right, because we did not insulate Fran.
No.
We were very adamant about not doing insulation in the van.
And we're not knocking anybody who has done this or would like to do this. That is all, up to you. We just felt like it wasn't necessary and just a lot of work and a lot of expense for something that we just didn't feel was needed. So what we did is we came up with some ideas and some things that help us with condensation in our van.
Lots of trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of trial and error.
Okay, so we're going to kind of name off a few things that we have used successfully to help us with this. Now, I'm not going to say that it is a 100%. You won't ever get condensation in your van, because you will.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're insulated or not insulated. You will get condensation because you have windows.
And you have to breathe.
Right. And you breathe. Yep. You're breathing out that mist. So, but Shannon and I have really been successful, we feel, with what we're using. One of the first things that we decided to use was a product called Damp Red.
Super easy to use.
Mm-hmm. Now, it comes in a hang-up bag that you can hang somewhere in the van, and what it does is it draws moisture out of the air into this bag. And there's different types of products that they make that you can use in your van. You don't have to use that. But the Damp Red products I would highly recommend for use with getting condensation out of the air. So.
Right. We took, I think, 2 or 3 cross-country with us, and I think we used the same one the entire trip.
Now, mind you, we were out west where the humidity was not terrible, but they worked perfectly for us.
Right. Here in PA, we have gone through a bag a week.
Yeah. We have camped in Shenandoah during the rainy season, and it's nonstop, changing those things out.
But they work.
But they do work. The second thing that Shannon and I like to make sure that we do is to keep air circulating in the van. So when the weather is either hot or cold, we have what we use is called a Dyson fan, and it has a heater in it. The one that we have has a heater, so we can use that in the winter months as well. We also use it in the summer because it's also just a fan, and that keeps the air circulated. We also have what is called a Cooney fan.
Right, we have 2 of those. Right. They are USB rechargeable fans that we can move wherever we need them for hot or cold, but we like to put one, no matter what the temperature is outside,
next to the fan, next to the Dyson. Yeah.
Right. So it pulls that air in and it shoots it back into the van.
Right. And especially like in the winter months when we're using the heat from the fan, it will push that warm air up and circulate it better in the van. And in the summer months we'll use 2. Like we'll clip one in the back of the van, one in the front of the van, and it kind of keeps that air circulating really well inside the van, keeps us cool, keeps the moisture down, all of that kind of thing.
So the air circulation, yes. That's very important.
Right.
We also use our screens over the windows.
We decided quite a while back, we've used different types of window coverings, and we decided we wanted some that were insulated to help maintain warmer temperatures in the van, and also to keep the condensation down because they do.
Right, and they're fantastic for keeping the heat out in the summer.
So we found some window coverings that are insulated that fit the very front windshield of the van, both of the passenger and the driver door, as well as the 2 windows on the back of the van.
Right, now the ones on the sides, those were custom made. We did some research and we found a lady in Canada who makes them and sells them on Etsy. And what I liked about them is they have the screen opens up, and that allows air to circulate.
Right.
That also is a way for us to get our land power into the van, because it's not a converted van. We converted the van, and we didn't really convert the van. We just adapted.
Right.
So the power can come in through the window. We get the air circulation, and then when the weather is not desirable, those flaps go up and you have a solid window on both sides. So those were fantastic.
The other thing that we have been utilizing are some window screens from Living in a Bubble.
Yeah,
those fit really nicely over the passenger and the driver's side windows. So during the hotter times of the year, we would be able to put those over the windows, keep the windows down, and a lot of air can circulate through the van without letting bugs in.
Right. And we can also slap the screen up in the back, and then you get full circulation through the van, which completely eliminates any kind of condensation at all.
And Shannon and I we're sticklers with quite a few things. One is if the weather's bad outside, raining, snowing, muddy, whatever, we keep a mat down in the back of the van that we take our shoes off of, the muddy, wet shoes off before we actually walk through the van. We don't like to keep our rugs in there wet and we try to keep it as dry as we possibly can, keep the dirt out of it.
We have occasionally had a spill of coffee or two, but we have a
it was me.
We have I don't even think it's factory. The van came with a rubber mat that covers the floor that we left down.
Right.
Then we put our carpet rug over that, and then we also have rubber runners that go on top of that. So in the event that we do get a spill, we have a couple different layers before it would hit the metal.
Right.
And then as soon as that happens, another wonderful thing about having nothing permanent in the van is we can move things and peel back those layers and get some fans on it and get it dry.
Right. So anyhow, I guess bottom line with the condensation is we just didn't feel comfortable having insulation in the van. I did a lot of research prior to us when we were talking about renovating a van. And it really brought us kind of where we are now is I saw a lot of people with posts of mold issues, and if you get those mold issues in your van and you have paneling up and all of that insulation, you have to rip every bit of that out and redo it all.
Right. With the exposed walls, we can monitor where we're getting condensation.
And we can keep the walls wiped down if we
right.
need to.
And like Karen said, it does happen. When we were in New River Gorge just a few months ago, it was really cold and really wet. And
humid.
At one point I pulled my jacket off the wall and there was some condensation on the wall. Right. So I just took some paper towels and I wiped it off.
Right. And the other thing is, I always say to her, no matter what, we're in a van, we can turn it on, we can run the AC, we can run the heat.
Right.
So that is always an option for us.
It dries it out in between stops if there's anything. But I don't think that we have any major issues that are of concern for us.
No. So if you want to save yourself some money and you're not really interested in doing that kind of thing, there are ways to work around it. So
I wouldn't say you can stop it, but you can definitely combat it.
All right. So again, we had quite a few questions on our Wandering Out Yonder email account from you guys out there. And so we just kind of wanted to reiterate some of those things to share with you. So I hope it helps somebody out. And if you have more questions, you guys know how to contact us, and we will see you later. Bye.